Parasite, Gu, breeding long vitae path, starting from the love-enamored Gu. By Thousand Lakes True Person. Chapter 421, Nearly Triggered Heavenly Tribulation, the role of Grandmaster level Phantasma Transformation Skill _1. Could it be that this is Heavenly Tribulation? Has he invoked Heavenly Tribulation? At this moment, Lang Yuexi and the others widened their eyes in shock, sensing their hearts palpitate. The sky above was covered with dark clouds, flashes of tribulation thunder, and thunder roared in waves. They had witnessed the nascent soul tribulation of Lin Yazhu and Chu Dai before, and naturally, they understood just how terrifying the power of the heavenly tribulation was. It was the nemesis of all cultivators. But now, they were witnessing the occurrence of the heavenly tribulation for the second time. They were all trembling with fear, as if heavenly tribulation could descend at any moment, splitting them all to death. This was not a force an ordinary cultivator could withstand. Although it wasn't meant for them, but being under the tribulation thunder, no cultivator could help feeling frighteningly nervous. No, it's not the right time to cross the tribulation now. Zhou Sui instinctively felt a sense of foreboding. If the heavenly tribulation truly descended, he might not be able to withstand it. Because this heavenly tribulation seemed completely different from the previous nascent soul tribulation of Lin Yazhu and Chu Dai. Whether in terms of momentum or power, it was several times more terrifying. Even with the aid of the robbery thunder worm, he might still suffer heavy injuries. Now was not the time to cross the tribulation. The Phantasma Transformation Skill. In an instant, Zhou Sui invoked the Phantasma Transformation Skill, immediately concealing his aura, completely retracting the vital energy within his body, hiding deep within, without a shred of it leaking out. At this time, the tribulation clouds above the sky seemed a bit puzzled as they were unable to sense the aura of the one crossing the tribulation. They seemed unwilling, lingering for a long time, trying to find the person crossing the tribulation. But after a long search, they were still unable to find and thus, had no choice but to disperse. The dark clouds in the sky also completely dissipated, restoring clarity to the sky. Looks like the Phantasma Transformation Skill is still useful. Zhou Sui was overjoyed. He wasn't regretting training the Phantasma Transformation Skill to the Grandmaster realm. After reaching this stage, the Phantasma Transformation Skill could perfectly conceal his aura, without leaking a bit of it. Honestly, he questioned whether this skill could not only turn into different life forms but also constitute a dharma to avoid calamity, potentially sheltering from the heavenly tribulation. After all, the Phantasma Transformation Skill that had attained the Grandmaster realm supposedly produced numerous mysteries. Of course, its full potential requires him to further explore in the future. Child, were you about to cross the tribulation just now? Lin Yazhu was shocked beyond words. As a nascent soul cultivator, she, of course, understood clearly what just happened with the heavenly tribulation. Yes, I was indeed on the brink of crossing the tribulation. Even I didn't expect that after advancing to the body cultivation of the nascent soul, I almost triggered heavenly tribulation. But now is not the time to cross the tribulation, thus I concealed my aura, temporarily dodging this heavenly tribulation. It is not too late to cross the tribulation once I am confident. Zhou Sui nodded. Apparently, his vital energy was way too strong, reaching a level which could indeed invoke heavenly tribulation. But he was still not ready yet. If he recklessly crossed the tribulation, he would definitely get seriously wounded. It might even lead to his demise. I didn't expect that you would be crossing the tribulation so soon. Looking at it this way, you might reach nascent soul even earlier than me. Shen Baiqian couldn't believe it either. The first time she met Zhou Sui, he was a foundation establishment level cultivator. But now, within the blink of an eye, he was about to surpass her. Now she could somewhat relate to Lang Yuexi's feelings. The pace of her husband's cultivation advancement was just too quick, it was beyond her comprehension. There's no rush. Haste makes waste. Better solidify my cultivation level for now, it's not too late to break through afterwards. Zhou Sui vaguely smiled. After all, he was still relatively young. Even when compared to the cultivators with heavenly spirit roots, he was making rapid progress. Not to mention when compared with ordinary golden core cultivators. So, he was not in the least bit rushed, there wouldn't be a significant problem even if he broke through after decades of cultivation. Of course, given his current cultivation speed, he probably wouldn't need to cultivate for decades. There was a high probability that he could advance to the nascent soul realm within 10 years. At that time, it was highly likely that he wouldn't even be 100 years old yet. Becoming a nascent soul at 100 years would be an incredibly exaggerated cultivation speed. My lord, I want to try the power of body cultivation at the nascent soul level. Shen Baiqian came to Zhou Sui, her eyes seductive, showing off her well-defined figure. Clearly, she had sensed the vigorous energy within Zhou Sui and was hardly able to hold back. This vigor seemed to stir up the fires of the heavens and earth. This wasn't just Shen Baiqian. Lang Yuexi, Lin Yazu, Ji Binjiu, Xia Jinjian, Muzian, and the others who were also Dao companions felt the same way. They all stole bold glances at Zhou Sui. Even the Dao companions Xia Tao, Chun Tao, Kai Hu Dao, and Dong Tao were the same. Well, if that's the case, let's go back and try it out. This cultivation session will surely bring you lots of benefits. Zhou Sui waved his hand and immediately set off on a cloud, using his bloodline divine power. Instantly a cloud covered Shen Baiqian and the others, and then, at a rapid speed, they returned to his dwelling. In no time, the dwelling was entwined in intense cultivation, echoing with continuous noises. Several days later, Zhou Sui and his Dao companions had intensely cultivated for several days before they were finally able to completely vent out the pure yang fire within him. Even though the dragon elephant goo gave him a strong physique, it brought him the powerful desires of a true dragon as well. Fortunately, he had 10 Dao companions around him, which gave him a way to vent his pure yang fire. Otherwise, if the pure yang fire within his body grew too vigorous, that would not be a good thing. But after this period of cultivation, Lin Yazu and the others were completely exhausted and were likely unable to fight again anytime soon. It fully demonstrated how powerful his nascent soul level of body cultivation was, and it was getting even more vigorous. Right, time to check the data panel. At this moment, Zhou Sui finally had time to look at his own body's data. He immediately opened the virtual panel. Host, Zhou Sui, Cultivation, Late Golden Core, 60% Progression, Lifespan, 90, of 10,000, years. Aptitude, 4th Class Spiritual Root, 60%. Swordsmanship, 3rd Class High Grade, 40%. Rune, 3rd Class High Grade, 40%. 7th Order Formation, 4th Class High Grade, 99%. Pill Master, 3rd Class High Grade, 99%. Phantasma Transformation Skill, Grand Master, 40%. 5 Elements Alchemy Technique, Grand Master, 99%. Illusory Demon Heart Method, Demon Seed, Summon Demon. 7 Apertures Spirit Secret, Heart Eye Recognition, Heart Eye Intuition, Heart Eye Linguistics. Soul Dispersing Stinger, Great Achievement, Fireball Technique, Grand Master, Wind Blade Art, Grand Master, Golden Light Skill, Grand Master, Ice Frost Skill, Grand Master, Spring Wind Rain Skill, Grand Master, Lightning Summoning Skill, Grand Master. Obsession Goo, 4th Class High Grade Clone Goo, 3rd Class High Grade, Wine Bug, 3rd Class High Grade, Gold Eating Bug, 3rd Class High Grade, Bookworm, 3rd Class High Grade, Dream Soul Goo, 4th Class Lower Grade, Dragon Elephant Goo, 3rd Class High Grade, Golden Light Thousand Poison Goo, 3rd Class High Grade, Teleportation Insect, 3rd Class High Grade, Array Heart Goo, 4th Class High Grade, Object Searching Goo, 3rd Class High Grade, Robbery Thunderworm, 3rd Class High Grade. Obviously, after 5 years of hard cultivation, Zhou Sui made a great deal of progress and had already reached 60% progress. Probably it won't be long before he reaches Golden Core completion. Honestly, this pace of progress is quite astonishing. Usually, for a cultivator in the late Golden Core stage, it takes at least 50 years, or even 80 years, to reach Golden Core completion. And now, Zhou Sui has only spent 5 years at the late Golden Core stage, and he has already made progress of 60%. Such a speed of progress is simply staggering. Chapter 422, 10,000 Years Lifespan, Heavenly Earthly Wondrous Insect, Medicine Goo _1. Of course, Zhou Sui's rapid cultivation progress was not simply due to diligent practice with his Taoist couple. More importantly, it was thanks to receiving the power of union from the 4 late Golden Core female cultivators, Chun Tao, Xia Tao, Kai Hu Dao, and Dong Tao. After receiving this enormous and pure union force, not only did it help him break through to the late Golden Core stage, but it also helped him make significant progress within this boundary. One could say that it saved him at least 20 to 30 years of painstaking cultivation. This was why his cultivation advanced at such an alarming rate. No way, is this real or false? My lifespan has reached 10,000 years. Suddenly, Zhou Sui's eyes widened as he looked at the data on his virtual panel. Only then did he realize that his lifespan had undergone a remarkable increase. Evidently, after becoming a nascent soul body cultivator, the limit of his lifespan was broken once again. He now had a lifespan of 10,000 years. This was true immortality. If this news were to spread, it would be enough to shake the entire cultivation world. Even among the demon clan, those ancient turtle demons wouldn't dare to claim they could live for 10,000 years. This was truly a living fossil. If he could actually survive for 10,000 years, then his very being would represent the history of the human clan. However, he calmed down almost immediately. After all, his goal was to attain Dao and become an immortal, to gain eternal life. What's a mere 10,000 years compared to that? It was merely a small initial goal. Moreover, in this brutal world of cultivation, the most important thing is to protect the Dao. If he were to be killed by an enemy, a long lifespan would be meaningless anyway. So, he must continue to keep a low profile. But of course, having a lifespan of 10,000 years was still worth celebrating. Not bad, not bad, the abilities of the 100 arts of cultivation are improving quite well. Zhou Sui looked over the various stats of his body. For instance, his rune, swordsmanship, and pill master skills had all reached the peak of the 3rd stage, high grade, and his 7th order formation had even achieved the peak of the 4th stage. Unfortunately, there were several abilities that had reached their current limits and couldn't be improved for now. Like the 7 apertures spirit secret, after he condensed his 3rd heart eye, he couldn't form a 4th one. After all, he only knew how to condense 3 heart eyes. He hadn't found the methods to condense the remaining 4, so he was helpless without the necessary ingredients. There's also the demonic incantation. He had mastered the 2nd layer, but he would have to reach the nascent soul realm before he could begin the cultivation of the 3rd layer, so he had reached a limit for now. As for his 7th order formation that had reached the peak of the 4th stage, breaking through to the 5th stage was not something that could be done overnight. He would have to wait for news about the array heart goo. However, currently, the most likely to break through would be his pill master cultivation. Because his pill master realm had reached the perfect stage of the 3rd class, high grade, and his 5 elements alchemy technique had achieved perfection at the grandmaster level. If he could advance further, he would become a genuine 4th stage pill master. Looking over the entire Kanglan Sea, there were hardly any who could truly become a 4th stage pill master. To become a 4th stage pill master, the key is to refine a 4th stage treasure pill. This requires the preparation of a large number of high-level spiritual medicines to be successful. It seems my next objective will be to break through to the 4th stage pill master realm. Zhou Sui stroked his chin, determined his next target. After all, for cultivators at the nascent soul realm, a pill master's cultivation is also crucial. Because once they reach this realm, there is essentially no 4th stage pill available on the market. The majority of the 4th stage pills could only be obtained through bartering. Even if it really appears in an auction, the price will be astronomical, attracting numerous nascent soul ancestors into a bidding frenzy. These will definitely be sold at exorbitant prices. And in the end, it would only benefit those 4th stage pill masters. So, instead of benefiting other 4th stage pill masters, he might as well do it himself. However, the key to crafting a 4th stage pill not only lies in the pill master but also in the spiritual medicine. Due to the progression of time and the excessive exploitation by cultivators, a large number of ancient spiritual medicines have been lost. Even if some spiritual medicines are left, they are not old enough to be the main ingredients. This suggests that the key is in cultivating the spiritual medicine. Zhou Sui stroked his chin once again. Clearly, the cultivators in the cultivation world lack sustainable development ideas. Most of them are short-sighted, selfish, and would place their own interests above everyone else's. For their cultivation progress, they frequently conduct destructive mining. The result is clear: the number of spiritual medicines in the cultivation world is decreasing. It's like a vicious circle. This has made the cultivation of nascent soul cultivators increasingly difficult. This is also the reason why not a single god transformation cultivator has appeared in the Kanglan Sea until now. It seems that there is a special goo insect in the goo divine bowl that can rapidly increase the growth speed of spiritual medicine. This insect is called the medicine goo. It feeds on countless spiritual medicines in the world, but it can rapidly increase the age of spiritual medicines. A year of growth can be comparable to 100 or even 1,000 years of growth. The higher its rank, the more the medicinal potency of the spiritual medicine can be increased. Not to mention, the medicine gu is the world's greatest cultivator, capable of nurturing any spiritual medicine. Any kind of spiritual medicine falling into its hands will be able to survive. Chapter 423, 10,000 years lifespan, heavenly earthly wondrous insect, medicine gu _2. If I could refine the medicine gu and obtain many seeds of ancient spiritual medicine, it might be possible to revive those almost extinct ancient spiritual medicines. If that were the case, refining 4th stage treasure pills wouldn't be a problem at all. Zhou Sui pondered his next step on the path of cultivation. Clearly, pills are extremely important for cultivators. Even if he didn't need many pills, his partner would always need them. A single pill could save years, even decades, of grueling cultivation. Which cultivator wouldn't go crazy for them? Even if some pill toxicity remains, it's nothing compared to the benefits gained and time saved. To refine the medicine gu, the most important main ingredient is creation jade dew water. This is one of the heavenly earthly miracle waters, it contains boundless creation power. Even a single drop can offer rapid recovery from serious injuries. But such treasures are rare in the world, even the Wuji Alliance doesn't have them. Even if someone obtains it, it's highly unlikely they would sell it. Zhou Sui initially wanted to use the object-searching gu to find the creation jade dew water. Unfortunately, the object-searching gu couldn't locate it, leaving him baffled. Perhaps it was because the object-searching gu's rank was too low, being only at the 3rd class, high-grade realm. If it were to advance to the 4th stage realm, it might be able to locate such heavenly and earthly treasures. It seems I need to improve my cultivation. Only then can I also enhance the power of my gu insects. Once my cultivation improves, everything becomes easier. Having thought of this, Zhou Sui calmed down. Several more days passed. Zhou Sui was still cultivating in the meditation room for self-improvement. But at this moment, a shocking news suddenly came, astonishing the entire Wuji Alliance. It had even startled the entire Kanglan Sea. Master! The Wuji Alliance, the Tianjian sect, the Sunset sect, the Suanbao Tower, and other nascent soul sects have united and launched a collective attack on the Sea clan. This battle was a great victory, killing 7 Sea clan 4th stage cultivators, dozens of 4th stage sea demons, and hundreds of lower grade 4th stage sea demons. The battle result was splendid. Although our human clan's nascent soul forces were somewhat damaged and numerous human nascent souls were killed, overall, it was still infinitely better than the Sea clan. Now the entire Sea clan army has completely withdrawn, retreating once again to the deep sea temples, not daring to come out. The beast tide disaster has ended. Lin Yazhu immediately obtained news and happily shared with Zhou Sui. After all, as a nascent soul cultivator, and an elder of the Wuji Alliance, she has an elder token from the Wuji Alliance. This elder token can receive messages from the Wuji Alliance. So she was the first to know about this major news. Can't be, did the Sea clan just fail like that? Hearing this, Zhou Sui was stunned, finding it hard to believe. Honestly, even when he heard the Wuji Alliance had joined forces with other human nascent soul sects, he didn't expect the Sea clan to fail that easily. The Sea clan's unprecedented attack must have been certain of victory. They're not fools. Without any certainty of victory, why would they initiate a war? Ordinarily, only the strong instigate wars. Very rarely do the weak do that. Yet, the Sea clan was defeated, resulting in many sea demons dead. It was beyond belief. His instincts told him something was off about this matter. But he didn't know exactly what was strange, because he had too little information. Yes, they just lost like that. I thought the Sea clan, with its grandeur, would have hidden cards when they initiated the war. I didn't expect that in the end, the Sea clan didn't play any trump cards, but were instead massacred by us. It seems we have overestimated the Sea clan, allowing them to ravage the Kanglan Sea for so long. Lin Yazhu lamented. She also didn't think the Sea clan was feigning defeat this time. As even for a feigned defeat, the price paid this time was just too heavy. The numerous fallen Sea clan nascent souls, almost 2/3 of the army, ended up as casualties. It would probably take several thousand years to make up for these losses. Even the most foolish clan wouldn't do such a thing. It seems the Sea clan is indeed paper tiger. Zhou Sui nodded. Even though he had some doubts in his heart, without any proof, they're merely suspicions. More importantly, for him, cultivation was of paramount importance. Even if the Sea clan really had some scheme, what could he, a mere golden core master, do? Unless he advances to the nascent soul stage, gaining influence on the chessboard, will he consider dealing with such things? Also, in this war, Master Peach Blossom performed brilliantly. Rumor has it that she has advanced to the nascent soul late stage realm and has become the Wuji Alliance's 5th great nascent soul late stage cultivator. In this battle, she also contributed a lot, annihilating over a dozen mid-nascent soul Sea clan cultivators. With all these accomplishments, Master Peach Blossom is now generally recognized as the next alliance hierarch of the Wuji Alliance. Master, being able to win the favor of such a high-level nascent soul female cultivator, you are truly remarkable. Chapter 424, 10,000 years lifespan, heavenly earthly wondrous insect, medicine goo _3. Lin Yazul looked at Zhou Sui with a smile that was not a smile. Cough, cough, those are all rumors. Master Peach Blossom and I are purely innocent, absolutely nothing like the rumors going around. Zhou Sui said, feeling a bit guilty. Yet he also thought this was a matter of course. Previously, with Master Peach Blossom having reached the middle stage of the nascent soul cultivation, and upon obtaining the creation pill, it was an outright certainty that she would advance to the late stage of the nascent soul due to her heavenly spirit root aptitude. Once promoted to the nascent soul late stage, one would be considered a major cultivator in the Kanglan Sea area. Even though there were some human cultivators at the nascent soul stage, the number of those who could truly advance to the nascent soul late stage were quite limited. Previously, the expansive Wuji Alliance only had 4 powerful late-stage nascent soul cultivators. Even the other nascent soul powers that were much stronger than the Wuji Alliance didn't have many more late nascent soul cultivators. If things were truly innocent, Master Peach Blossom wouldn't have given you her personal maid. Lin Yazul looked at Zhou Sui with disdain. She was always suspicious of the relationship between Zhou Sui and Master Peach Blossom. However, she was puzzled because Zhou Sui was always practicing tirelessly on the Immortal Mist Peak and hardly left the Tri-Star Island group, so how did he meet Master Peach Blossom? Could it be that he was wandering around with his clones, leaving love letters everywhere? Truth be told, Lin Yazul was very suspicious about the intention of her husband in practicing the clone technique. Was it just so he could use his clones to flirt around everywhere? All right, this is just a small matter. The real issue comes next. After the Sea clan cultivators are dealt with, the 5 major nascent soul sects will probably focus their attention on the divinity transformation ruins. Then our Tri-Star Island Group's sea area will become a place of trouble. Zhou Sui quickly shifted the topic. At these words, Lin Yazul glared at Zhou Sui. She of course knew that her husband was trying to change the subject, but she decided to not pursue the matter further. After all, if her husband really had an affair with Master Peach Blossom, it would actually be an enormous opportunity. This would mean that the Wuji Alliance could eventually be controlled by her husband in the future. Just thinking about it gave her a strange expression. Originally, they were from a remote sea area's Golden Core sect. It was unbelievable that they might be in control of the enormous nascent soul power of the Wuji Alliance in the blink of an eye. Well, my dear, you don't need to worry about that. The Wuji Alliance already decided to set up a teleportation array in our Tri-Star Island group. This way, the nascent soul cultivators from the Wuji Alliance can teleport over anytime. Our sea area will also become a major protected area of Wuji Alliance. Any power that targets us will be making an enemy of the Wuji Alliance. Lin Yazul brought up some news. This was also a decision from the Wuji Alliance. After all, traveling to this sea area from Wuji Island was far too distant. Since this is the case, why not set up a teleportation array? This would also facilitate the arrival of cultivators in this sea area. Without a doubt, this would also facilitate the movement of numerous cultivators. So where will the teleportation array be located? Zhou Sui asked. Let's put it on our wood spirit island of the King Mu sect. This island hasn't been developed much and is perfect as the location for the teleportation array. Lin Yazul said solemnly. At this time, in the Kanglan Sea area, at the Sea Clan's temple. One could say that after this battle, the Sea Clan had suffered a huge defeat with countless deaths and injuries. The numerous Sea Clan cultivators had despair painted across their faces. It was a somber scene. They hadn't expected the battle to be so catastrophic. Not only were they unable to reclaim the dominion of the Sea Clan, but they were almost exterminated by human cultivators. If they hadn't fled in time, all of these Sea Clan cultivators would have been completely annihilated. Great Elder, we of the Sea Clan have utterly lost this battle. I'm afraid from now on, we of the Sea clan can no longer hold a candle to the human cultivators. We can only hide deep within the sea. One Sea clan nascent soul bore a despairing look. Before the war started, it thought that the Sea clan stood a chance against the human clan and could even push the human clan back. But who could have imagined when the humans were truly motivated, rallying the 5 major nascent soul sects, the entire Sea clan was beaten into a desperate retreat with countless casualties. At that moment, it truly recognized the terror of the humans. The current Sea clan simply couldn't compare. Since the human clan had taken over the Kanglan Sea area, their power had become increasingly terrifying. Don't worry, I expected this result. Because the current disparity between the human clan and the Sea clan is so vast. In this battle, our defeat was a certainty. The Grand Elder of the Sea clan calmly said. What? Upon hearing this, all of the Sea clan nascent souls looked at the Grand Elder in disbelief. Grand Elder, what do you mean by that? If you knew in advance that the Sea clan was certainly doomed, why did you still let us go to our deaths? You said before that you wanted to reclaim the glory and dominance of the Sea clan, were you deceiving us? Are you in collusion with the humans? Do you intend to completely destroy the Sea clan? Hearing this, the numerous Sea clan nascent souls were immediately enraged as they stared in disbelief at the respectable Grand Elder. They simply couldn't accept that the Grand Elder, who had initiated the war against the human clan, had known in advance that the Sea clan was doomed to lose, yet still persisted in provoking the war. This was clearly sending the Sea clan cultivators to their deaths. Yes, I did deceive you into going to your deaths. But it was all worth it. Chapter 425, 10,000 years lifespan, Heavenly Earthly Wondrous Insect, Medicine Goo _4. Because our true plan as the Sea clan is nearing its completion. The Grand Elder of the Sea clan calmly said. What do you mean? What is the true plan of the Sea clan? The nascent soul cultivators among the Sea clan were confused, having no idea about what the Grand Elder was mentioning. Truthfully, even though they were part of the upper echelons of the Sea clan, they had no knowledge of the real plan. Clearly, this plan was unknown to the vast majority of the Sea clan cultivators. You must know that we have an ancient demon altar within the Sea clan, he said. Due to a catastrophe in the ancient era, the ancient demon altar was destroyed. Today, after tens of thousands of years, we, as the Sea clan, have finally repaired the ancient demon altar. Once we activate the ancient demon altar, we can communicate with the ancient demon realm, opening the door to the ancient demons. The Grand Elder of the Sea clan murmured. What? At these words, many of the Sea clan's nascent soul cultivators were shocked, with their hearts experiencing violent turmoil. Of course, they were aware of what the ancient demon realm was. Rumors tell of a world beyond the endless void, with countless worlds existing in this void. But these worlds were so far apart that there was no connection between them. The ancient demon realm was one such world. It was said that this was a world where demons wreaked havoc, filled with innumerable ancient demons. Of course, its power level was almost on par with the Cultivation World, with the strongest demons only reaching the divinity transformation realm, also known as the 5th stage demon cultivation. At one time, the ancient demon realm also invaded the Cultivation World. They sent a large number of demon cultivators into the Cultivation World, causing endless turmoil and slaughter. The catastrophe of the ancient era had a great connection with the ancient demon realm. One can say that the reason there are so many demonic beasts in the Cultivation World is due to the legacy of the ancient demon realm. Many demons are the descendants of those ancient demons from the ancient demon realm. Grand Elder, can you activate the ancient demon altar now? But how is this related to your plan? Many nascent soul cultivators of the Sea clan were visibly excited. Of course, it's related. To activate the ancient demon altar, not only do we need numerous top-grade spirit stones, we also need large amounts of demon blood. In other words, we need a blood sacrifice. The problem is, if we slaughter the Sea clan members in large numbers, it will definitely lead to the division of the Sea clan. That's why I initiated the war between the Sea clan and the human clan, leading to numerous Sea clan cultivators dying at the hands of humans. In this way, we naturally and subtly accumulate enough offerings. And it will not lead to unrest within the Sea clan. After all, humans are the ones killing them, not us. The elder of the Sea clan said quietly, his tone carrying a hint of cruelty that sent a chill down one's spine. This. The pupils of the Sea clan's nascent soul cultivators contracted, as they suddenly grasped the Grand Elder's plan. Clearly, the Grand Elder's plan was a double-edged sword. If the Sea clan does indeed win this war and become the overlord of the Kanglan Sea, then there would be no need to activate the ancient demon altar. As the reigning overlord, they would not require help from the ancient demon realm. But if they fail, the bodies of a large number of Sea clan cultivators can be collected as offerings to activate the ancient demon altar. Whether a victory or a defeat, the Grand Elder's plan is foolproof. Such a strategy could be described as beyond reproach. Thinking of this, all of them looked at the elder with fearful eyes. No one expected that even they, nascent soul Sea clan cultivators, would fall within the calculations of the Grand Elder. Don't blame me. All of this is for the future of the Sea clan. Moreover, once the ancient demon altar is activated, and the door to the ancient demon realm is opened. For us, the Sea clan, it will certainly bring immense benefits. By then, not just the Kanglan Sea, but the entire cultivation world, will be under the rule of our demon clan. The world will become the territory of our demon clan. The Grand Elder of the Sea clan solemnly said. We understand. Grand Elder, what should we do next? All the nascent soul Sea clan cultivators were looking at the Grand Elder. Although they were terrified of the Grand Elder's ruthless methods, dead demons cannot come back to life. A dead demon can't talk. Even if they continue to pursue this, it will be futile. They could only blame their misfortune of dying at the hands of human cultivators. Now the most important thing is the future of the Sea clan and the activation of the ancient demon altar. In this war, I have collected a large number of bodies of Sea clan cultivators, all of which can be used as offerings. But there are other materials that need to be prepared, so we still need some time. All of these things will require your full assistance. Now the human cultivators have been attracted by the relic of the divinity transformation, and they absolutely will not notice our actions. Once the ancient demon altar is successfully activated, it will be the death knell for the human cultivators. The elder of the Sea clan said with killing intent. Yes, Grand Elder. Upon hearing these words, many nascent soul Sea clan cultivators were excited beyond measure. Another 10 or so days have passed. In the waters of the Tri-Star Island group, numerous nascent soul cultivators and array masters from the Wuji Alliance rode their flying boats here, approaching this sea area. They came to Woodstar Island, and started constructing a teleportation array on it. This was a routine task for them. After all, the Wuji Alliance frequently constructs teleportation arrays on the various islands of the sea region in order to expand its territory. Once a teleportation array is built, Wuji Alliance cultivators can be teleported there at any time. Chapter 426, 10,000 years lifespan, Heavenly Earthly Wondrous Insect, Medicine Goo _5. Of course, the cost of constructing the teleportation array was extremely expensive and not something that average forces could bear. But in this case, it was naturally the Wuji Alliance and Immortal Mist City that bore half of the construction costs each. Thus, the profits from the teleportation array would also be split in half. Needless to say, this arrangement brought immense benefits for Immortal Mist City. Even cultivators from distant locations could come through the teleportation array. This greatly increased the profits of Immortal Mist City. Moreover, with the nascent soul cultivators maintaining order in the Tri-Star Island group, no one dared to cause any disturbance. As for the nascent soul cultivators, they didn't stay here at all, heading directly towards the divinity transformation ruins. My lord, increasingly more nascent soul cultivators are headed towards those divinity transformation ruins. I have never seen so many nascent soul ancestors in my life. Lang Yuexi said with emotion. If she were still on Immortal Mist Island, she would never have had the chance to see a nascent soul ancestor. But now, nascent soul ancestors were seemingly popping up everywhere. Of course, this had a lot to do with the divinity transformation ruins. If it weren't for the divinity transformation ruins, these nascent soul cultivators would be scattered across great distances, and it would be very difficult to come across one of them. Oh, in that case, have they managed to break through the prohibition array of those divinity transformation ruins? Zhou Sui asked. Well, not exactly. After all, it's a 5th stage array replete with 3 layers of protection. Even a joint attack from numerous nascent soul cultivators could not breach this formation. Now many 4th stage array masters have set off for the divinity transformation ruins, attempting to find a weakness in the array. But most likely, it would be quite some time before they manage to break through this formation. Lin Yazua commented solemnly. Let it be. Matters like this have nothing to do with us. Simply safeguarding our own territory is enough. Who knows what dangers lurk within those divinity transformation ruins, it's better not to take unnecessary risks. Zhou Sui waved his hand dismissively. He had never entertained the idea of venturing into the divinity transformation ruins. Even though he possesses multiple clones, they were merely utilized for gathering intelligence. Given his current strengths, even if he were to obtain the numerous treasures within the divinity transformation ruins, he couldn't protect them. Don't assume that possessing a high-grade 4th stage formation meant he could withstand numerous nascent soul ancestors. These nascent soul old monsters all had numerous tricks up their sleeves, and who knew what they were capable of. So, the safest course of action was not to venture into the divinity transformation ruins. Once his cultivation improved, was there any treasure he couldn't obtain? There was simply no need to rush. My lord, do you know when Sister Chu will return? Out of sheer curiosity, Muzii asked. Since Chu Dai returned to the Sky Demon sect, it had been nearly 15 years. Even though for cultivators this period was not particularly long, it was certainly not brief either. She was a bit worried that something unexpected may have happened to Chu Dai. Well, there's no need to worry. She's still at the Sky Demon sect, receiving her nascent soul inheritance. After all, she has just advanced to the nascent soul realm and will need to learn many things. It's impossible for her to leave the Sky Demon sect so quickly. Although, considering the time that has passed, she should soon be returning to the Immortal Mist sect. Zhou Sui gave a slight smile. He had left one of his clones with Chu Dai, so naturally, he had a clear understanding of the situation surrounding Chu Dai. He even chatted with Chu Dai through the clone. Though he had been away for 15 years, he felt as if she were within arm's reach. Earlier, Chu Dai had sent word, stating that she had recently left the Sky Demon sect and was planning to return to the Immortal Mist sect. That's great. Hearing this, Muzii and the others felt a touch of joy. After all, they had spent many years with her and Chu Dai was extraordinarily knowledgeable about interpersonal relationships. So they had long become close companions. Naturally, they were deeply concerned about Chu Dai's current situation. At that moment, Zhou Sui felt a stir in his heart. He squinted his eyes as if sensing something. What's the matter, my lord? Ji Binjiu noticed Zhou Sui's expression. Someone's trying to kill Dai. It seems to be a nascent soul cultivator from the Xuanyan sect. And it's happening near the sea area around the Tri-Star Island group. Zhou Sui's eyes flashed with a chilly gleam. Having sensed Chu Dai's danger through the clone he left with her, a touch of murderous intent emerged in him. Whoosh! With this in mind, Zhou Sui acted immediately, commanding a clone carrying various goo insects on his body to rescue her. The sea area was close by, so the distance wasn't far. The clone, therefore, executed a cloud riding technique, flying in the direction of Chu Dai. A little earlier in the timeline. At this time, Chu Dai had just finished 15 years of arduous training in the Sky Demon sect, during which she received the sect's nascent soul inheritance. Only then did this long period of seclusion come to an end. Without another word, she immediately said goodbye. She didn't want to waste even a second, mounting a flying boat and heading directly towards the Immortal Mist sect. However, as soon as she approached the sea area near the Tri-Star Island group, she was intercepted by 3 nascent soul ancestors of the Xuanyan sect. Oh no! Chu Dai's heart sank immediately. She instantly knew that the adverse effects of her Sky Demon Calamity body had kicked in again. This was because the good fortune she had previously gained was now depleted. What followed would be calamity. But her mind was clouded by the calamity, and for a while, she forgot about this. As a result, as soon as she stepped out of the door, she encountered an enemy at the nascent soul level. It could be said that her Sky Demon Calamity body brought with it a terrible calamity. Even if ignored slightly, a disaster would occur. Haha, fellow Daoist Chu. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? As members of the demonic faction, we should be familiar with each other. Speaking was Qi Heng, a Xuanyan sect's nascent soul cultivator, a black-robed old man. He was the father of Qi Yongqing, the saint heir of the Xuanyan sect and an early-stage nascent soul cultivator. That's right, if you leave in such a hurry, it's like you're disregarding our Xuanyan sect. You should be aware of the implications. Another nascent soul cultivator began to speak. It was the Xuanyan sect's red ghost old ancestor. With flame-red long hair tumbling around his shoulders and a feral expression on his face, he emitted an eerie aura. Behind him, numerous ghostly shadows emerged, making one's skin crawl. Indeed, we are close friends with your Sky Demon sect master. And you are his disciple, a perfect person to consult on a few matters. The last nascent soul cultivator was the Xianyan sect's white-bone old ancestor, an early-stage nascent soul cultivator who carried a bone-white sword on his back, emanating a chill that penetrated to the bone. Chu Dai found herself surrounded by the three nascent soul old ancestors from the Xianyan sect. Chapter 427, Enemy from the Xianyan sect _1. Oh? May I ask why the three of you are here? Faced with the coercion of the three nascent soul cultivators, Chu Dai had no choice but to stop. However, she did not display any signs of panic, and remained humble yet dignified. I just want to ask you one thing. Is my son Qi Yongqing's death related to you? Nascent soul cultivator Qi Heng was staring intently at Chu Dai. Although the plot by his son Qi Yongqing to capture Chu Dai was known by only a few, still some cultivators from the Sky Demon sect who disliked Chu Dai had spilled the beans. Even though there was no concrete evidence. But it was sufficient to prove that his son indeed had contact with Chu Dai before his death. Moreover, his son's death must have a significant connection with this woman. He needed no evidence at all. All he needed was a shred of suspicion to confront her. Of course, it has nothing to do with me. I've barely met your son Qi Yongqing a few times. I wonder if fellow cultivator Qi misunderstood something. I hope fellow cultivator Qi won't believe the rumors. Chu Dai firmly denied it. She naturally wouldn't admit that this matter is related to her. And she also knew that they would have no evidence to prove it. Because her husband handled the matter very cleanly. Still making excuses. You were able to advance to nascent soul stage, and it's most likely due to my son. You must have used your beauty to seduce my son, committed a murder and stolen treasures. You took away the various items for nascent soul cultivation from my son to successfully form your nascent soul. Qi Heng, the nascent soul cultivator, was filled with killing intent. He was convinced that this wicked woman had plotted against his son, squeezed out all the remaining value from his son. That was why she was able to successfully form her nascent soul. Otherwise, how could this woman possibly form her nascent soul so quickly? Why bother with this woman? Since when do we in Xianyan sect need to bother about evidence when we do things? Since this woman is on her own, capture her alive, and apply torture. I would like to see if this woman dares to remain stubborn. The red ghost old ancestor had already lost his patience. The terrifying ghost aura released from his body made the sky within hundreds of miles dim. It was covered by endless ghost aura, as if it had transformed into a dark ghost domain. Red ghost fellow deist, dare you lay your hands on me? I am a nascent soul elder of the Sky Demon sect. Are you planning to start a war with the Sky Demon sect? Chu Dai's face changed. She didn't expect him to make a move right away without any hesitation. Foolish! After killing you, won't no one know that we from Xianyan sect did it? Moreover, I have a feud with your master Qianziun. It's this woman who hinders me from advancing to the late stage of nascent soul. It's a grudge for obstructing the path. Since I can't deal with Qianziun, dealing with her disciple is the same. The red ghost old ancestor chuckled coldly. Clearly, the reason he agreed to Qi Heng's request to team up was because he held a grudge against the sect master of the Sky Demon sect. He wanted to take this opportunity to take her disciple as a way of getting revenge. Boom! With a wave of his hand, he immediately released three ghostly fiends from his body. They were as tall as 18 meters, resembling giants, their bodies pitch black, heads crowned with a single horn, instilled with a fearsome ghostly aura. Each of them was a fourth stage ghost, equivalent to a nascent soul level entity. These were the red ghost old ancestor's trump cards. Precisely because he commanded these three fourth stage ghosts, his combat power greatly exceeded that of his peers. Even among mid-stage nascent soul cultivators, he could be placed at the top of the rankings. Die, consume her for me. The face of the red ghost old ancestor twisted, his hands forming seals, deploying his skill. Suddenly, the eyes of the three fourth stage single-horned ghosts radiated a malevolent light, penetrating the void as a vast ghostly aura blanketed hundreds of miles, seeming to engulf the sky in black, blotting out the sun. Even in the middle of the day, sunlight was unable to pierce the black fog. The surrounding temperature plummeted rapidly, causing people to shiver uncontrollably. Even the vast sea was frozen by this chilling aura, forming a thick layer of ice. Yellow Luo umbrella. Chu Dai calmly pulled out a top-grade defensive artifact from her body. A yellow umbrella appeared over her head, immediately generating a thick yellow barrier covered with densely packed runes. Boom! In an instant, the 3/4 stage single-horned ghosts charged, transforming into ghost claws, brutally hammering against the top-grade defensive artifact, demonstrating its terrifying power. Boom! Merely with one hit, the yellow barrier couldn't withstand the ferocious force, immediately shattering into pieces. Cracks appeared on this defensive artifact. Simultaneously, the chilly ghostly aura invaded, capable of freezing the meridians within a cultivator's body, causing one's limbs to tremble in the cold. Unable to withstand such an attack, Chu Dai was sent reeling thousands of meters away. The surrounding sea was agitated by this shockwave, creating a massive tidal wave. A horrifying tidal wave formed, submerging the surrounding unknown islands. Could he really be this powerful? Chu Dai was taken aback. Naturally, she had heard of the fame of the Xianyan sect's red ghost old ancestor. The latter was a renowned saint heir in the Xianyan sect during his youth. With his ghost-controlling skill, his reputation echoed throughout the Kanglan Sea. Once, to cultivate a powerful ghost, he paid the price of slaughtering all lives on an island, using them as food for his 4th stage ghost. But she never thought that after so many years, he had managed to cultivate 3/4 stage ghosts. If he had the chance to advance to the late nascent soul stage, he might truly be able to challenge her master. Unfortunately, it seemed his path was blocked by her master, making it impossible for him to advance to the late nascent soul stage. This was a grievance of denying advancement, no less than a grievance of killing one's father. No wonder he was so angry, intending to kill her, his disciple, to vent his anger. A cultivator who has only recently advanced to nascent soul can withstand the attack of my 3/4 stage ghosts. As expected of the Sky Demon sect's saintess, possessing heavenly spirit root aptitude, and reportedly possessing a special physique. Your talent is no less than your master Qianziun. If that is the case, then I can't let you live. Otherwise, the Sky Demon sect might end up ruling the demon sects if a second Qianziun emerges. The red ghost old ancestor emanated a more terrifying killing intent. Just a fleeting spar revealed Chu Dai's stable foundation. She was definitely not someone with a weak foundation, and her chances of advancing to the late nascent soul stage in the future were about 70 to 80%. Enough to prove the astonishing talent of this woman. But the more it was like this, the less he could leave this woman alive. This was not just for revenge, but also to eliminate a major enemy of the Xianyan sect. Even if they all belonged to the demon cults, there was also competition among them. They could not allow the Sky Demon sect to monopolize the power in the future. Chapter 428, Qianziun, the perfect mature woman with thousands of charming traits. 1. Demonic Cloud Fan. Chu Dai's complexion hardened. She knew that she wouldn't be able to escape these 3 Xianyan sect nascent soul cultivators unless she exerted her full power. She immediately took out the middle-grade spiritual treasure, the Demonic Cloud Fan. She circulated the immense nascent soul mana within her body, pouring it into the Demonic Cloud Fan. Boom! The black fan pulsed once, filling the air with endless black fog covering hundreds of miles. The light of day was blocked out, and everyone was enshrouded in the mist. It was as though the black fog had instantly transformed into terrifying demon creatures, lunging toward the red ghost old ancestor and others. Childish tricks! The red ghost old ancestor snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, he lightly spurred the middle-grade spiritual treasure ghost control flag in his hand. 3/4 stage ghost creatures erupted forth, emitting a red flame from their mouths. It was ghost fire of red flames. This terrifying flame, controlled by ghost creatures, is a unique fire of heaven and earth. Once it hit an enemy, it would immediately incinerate them to ash, and could even burn the soul directly. It was terribly powerful. Rumble! Balls of red flame began to burn the endless black fog, tearing through it like a giant sword. It even blasted toward the distant islands. With one strike, the red flame hit a 1,000-meter-high mountain, blowing it apart in an instant. The terrifying fire turned the area into a boundless sea of fire. Countless rocks were turned into magma. The ground was flowing with massive rivers of magma. This guy! Chu Dai's pupils contracted, shocked in her heart. It could only be said that the red ghost old ancestor, who was of the same era as her master, was indeed worthy of his reputation. She had only just ascended to the early stage nascent soul realm. In terms of combat experience and internal mana, she was no match for the red ghost old ancestor. Not to mention, there were 2 other nascent soul cultivators early stage still eyeing her vigilantly. She was now considering retreating. To be honest, she had gained many treasures and trump cards from the Sky Demon sect now. If she really wanted to run away, these 3 nascent soul cultivators might not be able to stop her. Don't worry, I will lend you a hand. At that moment, a voice suddenly conveyed to the depths of Chu Dai's consciousness. The speaker was one of Zhou Sui's clones. The place where Chu Dai was located was only tens of thousands of kilometers from Immortal Mist sect. By utilizing the power of the teleportation insect, he could reach that area almost instantly. After all, the teleportation insect had advanced to the 3rd class, high grade, and could teleport a distance of 1,000,000 kilometers at most. And it could even be used over 100 times. Of course, after teleporting, it required a considerable amount of time to gather void energy before it could teleport again. But now Zhou Sui spent most of his time cultivating intensely, and there was little need to use the teleportation insect anyway. Therefore, it didn't even matter if he wasted some void energy. My beloved. After hearing that, Chu Dai was delighted. Although she knew that her lover was only at the Golden Core realm in cultivation, and normally, he should barely stand a chance against 3 nascent soul cultivators. Yet, for some reason, as long as her beloved arrived, she would have enough confidence. Even when faced with the greatest difficulties, it was nothing much to her. Dream Realm. In an instant, Zhou Sui did not plan to make small talk with Chu Dai because now was not the time for leisure. He instantly used the power of the Dream Soul Gu, which had advanced to the 4th stage low grade, and had become many times stronger than before. Boom! Centered on Zhou Sui's body, a dreamland world descended instantly, covering hundreds of miles in the surrounding area. Like an array barrier, it enveloped the entire area. Around the sea waters, white fog rose abruptly, covering several miles, isolating that space. Thus, it was not just that people from the outside could not get in, but those inside would not be able to get out. This could be said to be the terrifying power of the Dream Realm. The Dream Soul Gu, which had reached the 4-stage realm, could create a temporary dreamland world. If the dreamland world couldn't be broken, one could only be trapped in that dream realm. Even if one was proficient in pupil skill and could see through illusion, it would be useless. What? The faces of the 3 nascent soul demon cultivators, Red Ghost Old Ancestor, White Bone Old Ancestor, and Qi Hung changed. They were startled to find themselves in the middle of a dense forest, a great change from their previous location. Just before, they were on the sea, so how did they end up here all of a sudden? Furthermore, they had completely lost sight of Chu Dai. Damn it, we've been fooled. This is an illusion world formed by a 4th stage formation. Unless the array core of the 4th stage formation is found, we can only be trapped in this formation. Just when did Chu Dai set up a 4th stage formation in this sea area? The face of the Red Ghost Old Ancestor turned pale. He never would have thought he'd be fooled in such a way by a junior. He was planning to ambush Chu Dai. But now he ended up being trapped by her instead. It was truly a case of the mantis stalking the cicada, oblivious to the aureole behind. He didn't even know when Chu Dai had set up the 4th stage formation, he was completely in the dark. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a cloud of white fog surged over, covering the area, separating instantly the Red Ghost Old Ancestor, White Bone Old Ancestor, and Qi Hung. Chapter 429, Qian Ziun, the perfect mature woman with thousands of charming traits _2. This made it impossible for them to join forces and trace each other's whereabouts. Chu friend, please don't rush. We both belong to the sect of demon cultivators, why should we resort to violence? If we fight among ourselves here, it won't be good for everyone. There could also be a conflict between the Sky Demon sect and the Xuanyin sect, events you surely wouldn't like to see. Qi Hung was completely panicked, pushed to his limits by fear. At this moment, he realized that he had completely underestimated this woman, Chu Dai. The techniques she controlled were not only strange, but also endless and unimaginable. To be honest, where is the nascent soul cultivator who just advanced? Even veteran nascent soul cultivators wouldn't be able to do much better. No wonder his son fell into this woman's hands. His death was not unjust at all. Oh, is that so? You were just telling me that as long as you killed me here, the Sky Demon sect wouldn't have known anything. So, can I interpret it like this: as long as I kill all 3 of you nascent soul cultivators here, the Xuanyin sect won't know about it either? Let me tell you the truth, it's indeed my hand that caused your son, Qi Yongqing's death. Don't you want to avenge him? Chu Daiyi's voice echoed in the white mist. Qi Hung couldn't determine Chu Daiyi's real positioning despite his best sensing efforts. This left Qi Hung even more panicked and flustered. Chu friend, don't worry. I have many sons. It doesn't matter if one dies. If you let me go, I promise not to take revenge on you. All past actions will not be held against you. Qi Hung deeply regretted his decision, his insides churning. This woman's blatant confession made it clear that she wanted to kill him. Moreover, she indeed had the capability of doing so. If he had known how terrifying Chu Daiyai was earlier, he would never have sought revenge. After all, the death of a son doesn't matter much. However, no matter what he said now, it was already too late. Is that so? I don't believe you. Only a dead person can keep a secret well. So, I'll be sending you straight to hell. Chu Daiyai sneered, naturally not believing any single word from him. Since he wanted to kill her, how could she possibly let this nascent soul cultivator from the Xuanyan sect escape? Dead people are incapable of revenge, even if they wish to do so. Whoosh! In an instant, Chu Daiyai manipulated her middle-grade spiritual treasure, the demonic cloud fan, and a terrifying black demonic light was instantly triggered, attacking Qi Hung directly. This was the destructive demonic light of the demonic cloud fan, which contained formidable destructive power. Once hit, it would destroy not only the body, but also the soul. It was basically a certain death. You're not going to kill me, Qi Hung, that easily. Hair standing on its end, Qi Hung felt the lethal threat. He immediately took a lower-grade defensive spiritual treasure from his body, the Xian Iron Flight Shield. This was a very rare defensive spiritual treasure, made from a large piece of Xian iron from the cold Yin land. Not only was it incredibly solid, but also once activated by a spell, it could form an automatic defense around the user, even able to withstand the attack of a nascent soul cultivator. It could be said that because he was a nascent soul cultivator who was extremely afraid of death, he purchased this lower-grade defensive spiritual treasure at a substantial cost. A series of shields immediately appeared around him, wrapping around his body. It was a full-scale defense. Soul-dispersing stinger. But at this moment, Zhou Sui made his move and immediately applied a soul secret art, soul-dispersing stinger. The soul-dispersing stinger that had advanced into the great achievement realm was more than 10 times more powerful than before. Furthermore, since Zhou Sui was now in the nascent soul body cultivation stage, his soul power increased significantly. This means the power of the soul-dispersing stinger was more terrifying than before. Although the Xian Iron Flight Shield could block various physical and skill attacks, it could not block soul attacks. A ghost-like soul spike instantly bombarded him. Thump! With just one strike, the soul-dispersing stinger hit Qi Heng's soul, tearing it apart, and a sharp pain erupted from him, just like thousands of ants tearing at him. Curses! So, you've mastered a soul attack secret technique. Qi Hung was perplexed. His severe pain made him unable to control the lower-grade defensive spiritual treasure, which led to a gap in his defenses. Chu Daiyai immediately took advantage of this gap, and a beam of destructive demon light attacked. Boom! This destructive demon light brutally struck Qi Hung, his body shattered, splintering just like a watermelon, his blood spilling onto the sea, staining the waters red. With just one strike, Qi Hung, an early-stage nascent soul demon cultivator, was killed by Chu Daiyai, without any power to fight back. He couldn't even struggle. Whiz! At the moment of Qi Heng's death, a black light tried to enter Chu Daiyai's body at an extraordinary pace. This was the grudge boomerang. But Chu Daiyai remained calm and composed, pulling out a straw doll from her body, instantly forming a barrier in front of her. The black light immediately attached itself to the straw doll, turning it black. Hehe, you even wanted to curse me after death. It's not that easy. Chu Daiyai smirked, apparently expecting this already. What is that? Zhou Sui asked curiously. Beloved, this is our Sky Demon sex-exclusive puppet secret technique, Body Double Puppet. Chapter 430, Qianziun, the perfect mature woman with thousands of charming traits _3. While the soul secret art can't be blocked, it can be transferred. That's why our ancestors of Sky Demon sect had created a unique secret technique, the puppet substitute. As long as we infuse our own aura into the puppet during its creation, it practically becomes our clone. But soul secret art doesn't have intelligence or wisdom. It traces based on aura. By doing this, we can use the puppet to replace us, and withstand the force of the soul secret art. When the time comes, we just need to destroy the puppet and the power of the soul secret art then disappears. Moreover, the puppets can not only block the soul secret art but can also fend off various curses and transfer injuries. This secret technique is limitless, to say the least. Chu Dai explained. This was also one way that the Sky Demon sect would deal with the soul secret art. After all, she didn't waste 15 years for nothing, she had obtained numerous secret techniques from the library of the Sky Demon sect. Each of these techniques could shake the Kanglan Sea region. I see. Zhou Sui had a sudden realization. The principles of the puppetry were not much different from his own cloning technique. Only puppet clones were cheap to produce and could serve as a regular method. The demon cultivators were pretty clever. Since this secret technique was created by the demon sect, naturally, it had to be resolved by someone from the demon sect. Earlier he was hoping to find a corresponding technique that could resist the soul secret art in the Wuji alliance. Little did he know, he was looking in the wrong direction, he couldn't find it anywhere. He still needed the help of a cultivator from the Sky Demon sect. As Chu Dai was a saintess in the Sky Demon sect and currently a nascent soul senior cultivator in the Sky Demon sect, it was quite normal for her to possess such techniques. Could you teach me this secret technique? Zhou Sui asked. Of course, no problem. In fact, I know that you are knowledgeable and love studying the 100 arts of cultivation. That's why this time in the Sky Demon sect's library, I copied numerous legacy cultivation methods. I copied all that were not restricted by the Sky Demon sect. If it wasn't for this, I probably would have returned earlier. Chu Dai gazed adoringly at Zhou Sui. She did a myriad of things for Zhou Sui. What? Zhou Sui blinked. He was filled with emotion. If the generations of cultivators from the Sky Demon sect knew what Chu Dai had done, they would be furious. Their carefully preserved legacy cultivation method for thousands of years is now given away by the saintess. However, for him, it was a significant windfall. After all, the bookworm needed a large amount of cultivation secrets and heritage jade records to grow. The Sky Demon sect was a nascent soul sect and the amount of cultivation secrets it had accumulated was beyond the comprehension of ordinary cultivators. Even the Wuji alliance, a nascent soul force, could not compare to such an ancient demon sect like the Sky Demon sect. Let's also take care of the two nascent soul demon cultivators. Zhou Sui really wanted to get the various secret records of the Sky Demon sect for the first time, but now was not the time to do these things. They had to deal with the remaining two nascent soul demon cultivators first. Even though the White Bone Old Ancestor and the Red Ghost Old Ancestor were currently trapped in the Dream Realm, no one knew how long they could be held there. It's better to solve the issue as soon as possible. Whoosh! In an instant, his figure flashed, and he immediately slowed towards the White Bone Old Ancestor. Finally appeared, hey! Do you think an illusion technique can deal with me, the White Bone Old Ancestor? You should know that the old soul of the White Bone is a supreme sword cultivator, with a clear understanding of swords. Any illusory art would be easily seen through by me. Die! The White Bone Old Ancestor sneered, immediately unsheathing a lower-grade spiritual treasure, the White Bone Colossal Sword, made entirely from the bones of ancient monsters. The blade was pure white and incomparably sharp. Even the colossal sword possessed chilling, profound yin forces. Once it strikes an opponent, it could easily shred the enemy, even infiltrating the opponent with profound yin force. A single slash could emit chilling sword energy, resulting in nothing left of the opponent. Boom! In an instant, the White Bone Old Ancestor made his move, wielding the colossal White Bone Sword, sending out 100 feet of white sword glow, erupting like a venomous snake's breath, piercing the sky, accompanied by a terrifying sword intent. The sword intent was intimidating, as if the space around was filled with bare white bones and the vision of a sea of blood and corpses. The aura of death was too horrifying. Impossible, my White Bone Colossal Sword couldn't kill you. But in the next second, the White Bone Old Ancestor was stunned because he could feel that his sword had clearly hit the figure who suddenly appeared. But sword strikes gave off sparks as if they struck imperishable ore. His White Bone Sword chi couldn't bisect the person in front of him. He was simply dumbstruck, as this was an unprecedented experience. Even if a nascent soul cultivator was wearing a lower-grade defense spiritual treasure, it should be difficult to withstand his sword. But the enemy who suddenly appeared managed to block his White Bone Sword chi. This was simply incredible. A good attack, but it's a pity it can't break my defense. The one who attacked was Zhou Sui. Even though he was a clone, he inherited the capabilities of his main body, his double-layered divine barrier was being stimulated. This also made his body's defensive strength not less than any lower-grade defense spiritual treasure.